In this exercise, we are going to be creating basic geometric shapes like line, rectangle, circle, polygon, arc, ellipse, and polylines. So let us get started with the exercise. I'm going to open the AutoCAD software. So go to File, New, Open with no template metric. Okay, and we are going to create like 7 layers, one for line, rectangle, circle, and so on. So we are going to create 7 layers. But before we do that, we are going to set the units. So we go to Format, Units, and not millimeters, but we are going to pick up meters this time. Number of decimal places will be 3. Okay. Angles, decimal degrees, precision 0. We don't have to touch anything else, and click OK to this one. Switch on the grid, and we are going to now set the limits. So we go to Tools, Drafting Settings, and this is the snap and grid. We are going to have 1 meter X spacing, and we're going to have 1 meter Y spacing for the snap, grid snap. And here we are going to have 1 meter grid spacing and 1 meter Y spacing. And we are going to say OK to this one. Then we set the limits, Format, Drawing Limits, specify lower left corner is 0, 0, press enter. And then the upper right corner by default is the X, 420 meters in the X direction and 297 meters in the Y direction. So we'll just keep it the default value and click OK. Click enter, sorry. We just want to see the grid within the limits, not beyond the limits. So we are going to go to Format, Drawing Limits, and Tools, Drafting Settings, and uncheck this box, Display Grid Beyond Limits. Okay, so this is where we are going to do our small exercise, which is creating these simple geometric shapes like line. Okay, we'll be using the line tool to create straight lines, different line types, and so on. So let us start with line. So I'm going to create few layers. Layer 1 is for the line. Layer 2 is for the rectangle. Layer 3 is for the circle. Layer 4 is for the polygons. Then we have arcs, A or C as arcs. Then we have ellipse. And then we have polyline. We can change the colors of arcs. Say, for example, we want to have arcs with blue color. We would like to have circles with red colors. We want to have ellipse as yellow colors. Polylines, we can change the polylines to green. Line, we can use line as something different. Polygons, this is your choice, whatever you want to, what color do you want, you prefer, just keep those colors. Okay, and this one, say for example, I want to have this color. So let us start with the lines first. So I'm going to create some few lines. Make this as your current layer, double click on this one, and now line is your current layer. Let me show you some lines we are going to draw with continuous, and some of them we can change the line type also and the line weight also. What kind of line types are available? Say if you click on the continuous over here, you will have different line types. So for example, you have to load those. Okay, say for example, you have all kinds of line types available: dash, dash space, long dash, and dot. Okay, so say for example, we want to have this as a center line. So we could create on, double click on center. This is my center line. And okay, so this will change to center. So any line that I'm going to draw now is going to be a center line. Okay. So if I draw a line, for example, this is the line icon. So I'll just go over here at the top. Remember, each see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this is a 10-meter line. Why don't we see any center line? Because the scale is too small. So I have to change the line type scale. Okay. So if I pick up a different LT scale, say if I put it 0.5, let us change it to 0.01. See, so now you can see that by changing the line type scale to 0.01, I can see the center line. So this is a center line. Okay, let us now continue with the with other options now. Let us go open the let us draw a rectangle. So if you double click on this one, now rectangle is my current layer. Let us choose a different line type with this one. Let us load, say for example, dash lines. So double click on ISO dash and click OK. So this will change to dashed lines. So if I'm going to plot a rectangle now, it will be using the dashed lines. This is just to demonstrate to you how this works. So let us now let us switch off this grid snap so that our cursor is not going to snap onto these grid squares. So here is your rectangle. So for example, if you want to plot a rectangle from there to there, that is how you create the rectangle. Or you can also choose some other options, specify first corner point. Say for example, this is my first corner point and I want to enter the values of, see, the length is now 2.13. Say for example, I want to have a rectangle of 3 meters in length, and so this one right there is 3 meters in length. Okay, so that is how you create the rectangles. First point, chamfer, elevation, fillet, thickness, width. So there are different options available for creating the rectangles. Okay, let us now go to press escape to come out of this, and let us create some circles. So double click on circle. I'm going to keep it continuous line, and I'm going to change the thickness of this one. Say for example, I want to change the thickness to 0.3 millimeters. So you will see that this line is thicker than the other lines, and we can see it. And how can we see it? I'll show you now. So for example, if you want to draw a circle like this, it is going to ask you specify the center point of the circle. So you pick up a center point and draw the circle. Okay, if you want to see the thickness of because this thickness will be different than this one, then you go over here and make sure that the line weight is on and click on this one. You will be able to see the line weight for the circle. See, the line weight has changed. Okay, there are few other ways of drawing the circle. For example, if you have few lines like this, okay, if you have a few lines like this and you want to draw a circle which is touching this one and which is touching this one, so this is called tangent, and then radius. So we have to provide the radius information, and this circle will be tangent to this one and to this one. So we go to circle and we say tangent radius, TTR. Then it is going to ask you specify point on object for the first tangent. So this is my, see, the tangent object snap is appearing. So you click on this one. Then it is going to say specify point on object for second tangent. So this is my second tangent. And now it is going to ask you what is the radius of the circle. So you just tell the radius of the circle, say for example is 3, press. So the radius of this circle is 3 meters and it is tangent to this one and tangent to that one. So here is your circle with tangent radius. Okay. Let us now create something else. For example, if I want to create some ellipses or polygons, let us draw some polygons. So double click on polygon, and this will be your current layer. Polygons will be your current layer. The line weight is default and it is a continuous line. So let us go to the polygon now. Here is your polygon. You can create four-sided polygon, three-sided polygons, and so on. Okay. So you click over here. And then you say enter number of sides. For example, you want 5 sides, and then you have to specify the center point of the polygon. So you pick up the center point somewhere over here, and you have to say, you have to enter an option inscribed in circle or some circumscribed about circle. So it is basically inscribed in circle. So I put I over there. And now it is you asking you radius of the circle. So I'm going to say, okay, I want 4 as the radius, and there is your pentagon. This is your pentagon. Okay, then let us create a hexagon. Hexagon has 6 sides. So click over here, and it says enter number of sides. So this time I'm going to say 6 sides. Specify center of the polygon. I pick up a point over here, and I for inscribed, and radius of the circle. Say for example, I want to put a radius of the circle to be as 4 also. So there is my hexagon. So this is called the hexagon. Hexagon has 6 sides. Pentagon has 5 sides. So if I want to create a triangle, for example, I can still use this one. Enter number of sides. I'll say 3 this time. Enter. And this is my center point, and it is inscribed. I enter, and 4 again. So that is my another polygon with 3 sides. Polygon with 5 sides or pentagon. Polygon with 6 sides, hexagon. Okay, so you have learned how to draw a line. You have learned how to draw rectangles, circles, circle with tangent, radius, polygons. Let us now create some ellipses. So we go over here and click on ellipse, double click on this one. And remember to keep your eye over here also, so that you know what the computer is asking you to do. So you click on the ellipse icon, which is this one, and it is asking you specify x is endpoint. Remember, x is ellipse has 2 axes. One is major axis, semi-major axis, and one is semi-minor axis. So for example, if you just endpoint of ellipse, so this is my endpoint of ellipse, and it says the other endpoint of ellipse is this one, and now you just give the specified distance to other axis. So see, 2, 3, 4, 5. Say for example, I want to have 3. So this is my ellipse. So this is how you create the ellipse. Then what else is left? Rectangle, polylines, polygons, lines, circle, arcs. Let us do some arcs now. So arcs can be created different ways. Okay, so for example, I want to draw an arc. This one is the arc right there. Arc. Specify start point. So I pick up a start point. Then it says specify second point of arc. So this is my second point of arc. And specify the end point of arc. You specify the end point of arc. Okay. So other ways of doing it, click over here. You can also provide the center of the arc. So you click on the center of the arc. Here is the center of the arc. Start point of the arc. Say, for example, here is my start point of the arc. And then you can mention the specify end point of the arc right there. This is a specify end point of the arc. So you can just specify the end point. And so this is a second way of drawing an arc. There are several other ways of drawing an arc. You can practice them throughout the semester if you like. Then we have the polyline. Polyline, the difference between a polyline and a normal line is that you can have different segments connected with one line. Okay, this is, let me show you. This is my polyline. I make it my current layer. Okay, and change it to white so that you can see it. Okay, and close it. So this is the icon for the line, and this is the icon for the polyline or P-line. Okay, a 2D polyline is a connected sequence of segments created as a single planar object. You can create straight line segments, arc segments, or a combination of the two. Okay, so click on this one and let me create an object using the polyline. So see this one, this is a complete one object. Okay, when you select it, the whole thing is selected. Okay, it's not different segments. In this case, when you have a line, if you select it, these are different objects. So let me show you the difference between a line and a polyline. Here is the line now. So if I click on this one, and if I draw the same shape with line, see, if you select this one, this is one object, second object, third and fourth. But this one has been done with a polyline. It has created one object. So this is the difference between a polyline and a line. So this is how you create simple geometric shapes using the AutoCAD. When you're going to be creating these simple geometric shapes in your drawings, you can use different options provided to you by the AutoCAD, and you can create all kinds of basic geometric shapes.